So this just won 3 major Oscars. And well, I sorta agree with one of them. First off, I don't think it's Best Picture worthy. There were many better films than this last year. It also didn't really deserve Best Original Screenplay. There were many better and more original screenplays out there. But I'm not mad at Mahershala Ali winning Best Supporting Actor. I honestly thought Viggo Mortensen stood out more in this though. I feel like his character was more of a stretch to play. Like he had to push himself more and show more range. I mean, I honestly thought he was fantastic in this, and more than deserved his nomination. But Mahershala Ali was definitely very good in this too, so I'm not mad at that. Now with that out of the way, let's get into the actual movie. It's about this Italian guy from New York in the 60s, who's pretty blatantly racist. Or rather, he's racist behind black people's backs, not in their face. So he's not out there committing hate crimes, but he's got some strong prejudices. Now through some interesting turn of events, he's hired as a driver for a black man, a concert pianist who's going on a tour of the Deep South. And again, this is the 60s, during segregation, so that's gonna cause some issues. And obviously these two personalities are gonna clash pretty hard too. So it's actually a pretty strong premise that's ripe for conflict and character development. Now here's the thing, I saw the trailer for this in the theater, and this is pretty much a prime example why I don't like trailers. The trailer for this one shows the setup, it pretty clearly tells you how it's gonna end, and it shows you a lot of the stuff that happens in between. It also spoils some of the best comedic moments in this. So before you even watch it, basically all the tension, suspense and intrigue is gone. You already know the full arc of these characters. You know the basic plot here. Now that's not the movie's fault, obviously, but it annoys me. And yeah, well, there were very few surprises in this one. It's an extremely linear and formulaic movie, so you can probably figure out where it's going, even if you didn't see the trailer. That being said, it's still a very good movie. Story-wise, it's about as predictable and cookie cutter as it gets, but it looks really good. It's super well directed and edited. I mean, the editing was so seamless I paid no attention to it whatsoever, which also means it didn't do anything spectacular. But this kind of sneaky stealth editing, that's virtually invisible, is an art in and of itself. The dialogue is also very sharp and well written, as are the characters. They play off each other perfectly, and the acting is about as good as it gets. These two really do a great job. So at the end of the day, the formulaic nature of the movie didn't really matter. It didn't bother me at all, which it would in a worse movie. I mean, take a look at Bohemian Rhapsody. It's also a highly formulaic movie, with a strong main performance, and I thought it was really entertaining. However, it wasn't that great of a movie. I enjoyed it, but I had some issues with it. Whereas this does everything else so well that it makes up for the flaws. But I still didn't think it was Best Picture worthy, because it doesn't really do anything mind-blowingly well. It's an extremely competent and solid movie. About as solid and well made as a movie gets, without being outstanding. It did everything very well, but outside of the performances, there was really nothing that stood out as being remarkable or exceptional, which I personally think a movie needs to be to deserve an Oscar for Best Picture. So yeah, I didn't agree with that win. But at the same time, there were worse nominations too. And the other thing this movie's got going for it is how well intentioned it is. It has a lot of heart and puts out a positive message. And it's one of these rare movies that is very difficult to hate. I mean, if you don't love it, I get it. And I can absolutely see some legit criticisms of it. Like the fact that it's not doing anything new or really pushing the envelope at all. The structure and everything about it is very paint by numbers. But it's paint by numbers to a very high level of competence. And there's not really anything to genuinely get upset by or dislike about it. And I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinions, and I really don't like to judge anyone. So I'm not saying you're a cynical a-hole if you didn't like this. But what I'm saying is, if you genuinely didn't like this movie at all, I think there's a strong possibility that there might be something wrong with you. And that's probably why this won Best Picture. It's inoffensive and non-divisive among reasonable people. It's just a movie that's easy to like and almost impossible to hate. You really have to go digging to find some genuine issues with it. So would I recommend it? Yeah, go watch it. Or don't. I'm not your dad. But I am trying to sell out, so consider liking, subbing, hitting that bell and supporting me on Patreon. Because I really need a couple of those classic cars. And hey, why not drop a comment below or check out another review? I'd appreciate it. Thanks.